Hello, and welcome to the Carolina African American Writers Collective Poetry Reading with the Seymour Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. My name is Gideon Young, and I am a member of the Carolina African American Writers Collective. In this event, you'll hear poetry from Dr. L. Teresa Church, Valeria Bullock, Crystal Simone Smith, myself, and Ashley Harris. You'll also hear words of thanks for the Seymour Center. The Seymour Center has been a safe place for our group to gather and write, commune professionally, and fine-tune through critical lenses our work. It is a creative, welcoming building and space, and we are hopeful that we are able to responsibly join in fellowship there again soon. A highlight of this event is a purposeful showcase of poets and poems included in All the Songs We Sing, the 25th anniversary anthology of the Carolina African American Writers Collective, published by Blair, a nonprofit press located in Durham, North Carolina. All the Songs We Sing was published on June 2nd, 2020. From Blair's website, a description of the anthology. North Carolina is home to a dazzling array of African American writers who have been meeting and working for more than 25 years in service to their craft. Together, they form the Carolina African American Writers Collective, which celebrates its 25th anniversary with All the Songs We Sing, an anthology of works by members of the collective, edited by its founder and world-renowned poet, Leonard D. Moore. North Carolina Poet Laureate Jackie Shelton Green introduces the anthology, which includes works by all 5 poets you'll hear today, as well as Bridget A. Lacey, Evie Shockley, Camille T. Dungy, Carol Boston Weatherford, and many others. Individually, these poems, stories, and essays have helped this Carolinian, voice their experiences. They remind us of our history, insist on change, and gathered together, their chorus amplifies and demands to be heard. These writers have shaped the modern literary landscape of the Carolinas for the last 25 years and will continue to influence and inspire African American writers for generations to come. Thank you for joining us in this event. We are happy to be in this moment with you.
My name is L. Teresa Church. I am a member of the Carolina African American Writers Collective, which I joined in 1995. I serve as the membership chairperson and archivist for the Carolina African American Writers Collective. From All the Songs We Sing, I'm going to read several of my poems, the first of which is The Moment at Hand. This poem is a minute. That is the form that this poem is written in. The Moment at Hand. Michelle Obama's green-gloved hands cradle Lincoln's red case Bible this winter day. On the Capitol's west front steps, we watch her grace, esteem her style, first brown lady. Her grasp pedestals this moment, when Barack's palm presses his stance indelible. The second poem I'm going to read is a Kwansaba, and it is entitled Golden Whistles for Emmett Till. If there was a whistle in money worth this boy's life, let's hear it. Break golden streets into pieces, dear God. Shape, shine them to fit Emmett's lips. Mold his melody between your fingers. Please let Emmett's whistle judge his killers. Loose that boy's notes all over glory. The third poem I'm going to read is entitled Woman Child, and this is from my experiences growing up as a child in rural Virginia. Woman Child. For the last 24 months, more woman than child. Her ninth summer stretches the shadow of dolls. Beyond plank bottom swing, she sets 2-year-old brother on her hip. Like a steel trap, she grasps little sister's thumb-suck hand. 6 days a week, 7 when needed, she be her mama's stand-in mama. Woman child hauls water buckets. Woman child bends over wash tub. Woman child rings mop strings. Woman child stirs cook stove pots. Woman child gazes past clothes on wire line, longs to be more child than woman. And finally, I want to read some of my haiku that are included in all the songs we sing. They are as follows. Sliver of moonlight stretches across the bed. My husband's snore. Rose laying at Alex Haley's tomb. A rooster crows. Springtime farewell. B.B. King's processional rolls down Beale Street. Navy blue hearse hauls the blues man home. A mosquito sings. Wild onions, we watch cows chew their cud. That's my poetry. And I'm so excited for the opportunities that I have had to come and workshop with my colleagues at the Seymour Center. I cannot think of a better place that is more exciting for an artist to be inspired. Every time I come into the building, I see art. Art that artisans have made for sale in the lobby area. Artists downstairs practicing music and storytelling and doing other kinds of artistic, creative things on the lower level. It is such a joy to come to the Seymour Center. This is a place where art buds and grows, and its roots run deep.
Building community has always been important to me. My first Carolina African American Writers Collective meeting was at the Seymour Center. I felt the warmth at this place as soon as I walked in. I was greeted nicely by a receptionist, and I was even asked to have my taxes done for free. Our room was big, and it had a nice picturesque window that had tall trees and birds and all this verdure. It was the perfect backdrop for workshopping old poems and creating new ones. Brown girls. Brown girls in the noonday sun, jumping double dutch. Hot and humid. Illegally open hydrant. The street fills with kids. Yesterday's spilt ice cream. Tomorrow's sidewalk mural. Quarantine. Thank you. In sidewalk chalk.
Hi, my name is Crystal Simone Smith, and I'm going to read 2 poems from all the songs we sing. Both poems are about place, about the Blue Ridge Mountains, where I spent many of my childhood summers with my grandmother. The first poem is called Greyhound. Every year for one summer week, we fled city concrete, our skinned and scarred bony legs climbing steel bus steps. Our mother shaking her head at the zoomorphic use of a racing dog she believed was grossly falsified, sighing. Why they would put a fast dog on this slow-ass bus is beyond me. The driver collecting tickets always shook his head back, not for the misleading hound, but for the long night ahead. a sundown that commenced crying fights, the lap feast of cold fried chicken and bread slices, head balancing acts of sleep upright, all to get down home, a foothill in the Blue Ridge Mountains where we stepped off into a morning and the arms of our grandmother, who'd say, "My, you've grown. How was the ride?" Who'd boast she rode the mule-pull tractor to the schoolhouse in snow. The second poem I'm going to read is entitled Whole Fish. My Aunt Ruth slumbers over a plate of whole fish she fried moments before in cornmeal and oil, swearing the entire time she would eat every bite. Before frying her fish, she had taken a break to smoke a slim and drink a shot of Jack. Needed some Jack, she said, after a fishing trip like that. The black angry bass, still flipping slow intervals in a bucket of 1-inch water then, had moments before endured a ghastly tug of war. Two predators fighting ferociously over him. Aunt Ruth in a flimsy garden hat, pulling at him on her lucky pole, and a moccasin's throat clamped around his tail fin. Pulling back. My aunt yelling victorious at first glimpse, then screaming in terror at what rose with it. Anyone would have thrown it back at once, pole too if need be, but my Aunt Ruth, a lady of scuffling instinct, picked up a stick and beat that moccasin off her hooked fish. Take that, she chided as the moccasin let go, receding back into the pond. Moments before, she had sat almost asleep on the sunning dock, complaining of nothing biting.
Hello there, Gideon here again. For my reading, I'm going to be presenting 4 haiku from all the songs we sing in a slightly different way. Rather than read, I'm going to take you on a journey through bamboo with some bamboo flute.
Hello, my name is Ashley Harris, and I'm part of the Carolina African American Writers Collective. And I will be reading a poem from all the songs we sing. I contributed 2 poems: The Pictograph Selfie, which is about police brutality, and A Link Between Worlds, which is about the transition from poverty to higher education, and how um, it's something else when you're black. Okay, so here we go. The Pictograph Selfie. They say, Ash, you are the youngest looking one in the picture, and I hope my body hasn't learned to prolong youthfulness in fear that tomorrow will be its funeral, that my face wants to live each day like yesterday in case I die at dawn or dusk, that it was made to convince officers I am innocent. My youthfulness must be a genetic adaptation. What humans change in themselves to survive over time. I smile that my armor has become so appealing, but still not good enough to distract death at the next traffic stop. This poem is called A Link Between Worlds, and these poems are based on The Legend of Zelda. The last poem I read was based on The Wind Waker. You get a pictograph, it's like a camera, and they updated the game so you could take a selfie. And this poem, A Link Between Worlds, is based on the Legend of Zelda game, A Link Between Worlds, where there's 2 different worlds. There's Low Rule, which is less great, and then there's High Rule that has everything. So, A Link Between Worlds. A Link Between Worlds is a black girl who just got a full scholarship to a prestigious or predominantly white college and must travel between her granny's trailer house and her dorm on North Campus. It isn't bad at first. The freshman dorms resemble the second place she's lived in her life, a homeless shelter with brick walls and plastic mattresses, but then it gets harder to transition and she can't understand her granny's quick switch lips as well, thinks she is too bougie to wash in molecule-sized buckets and cannot cope with her mother's constant bickering about never having money or losing her job last weekend. She will be the link that others use to question why her kind cannot cross over, but when she graduates, it will be hard for her to cross over into the job market because she fought hard but not twice as hard. She thought herself a bridge to others but found herself burning it when she thought it became too dirty. Now the link is herself, and that soon might sever. There is no way to balance her past to the present. There is no way, even with a link to this other world, to predict her future. If she progresses forward, her family can't go with her until she reaches the end, and then she might not even be herself. Escaping poverty is an out-of-body experience, and those left behind are the body in the coffin. Now I would like to share my feelings and thanks with the Seymour Center. I want to thank you all again for allowing us to have the space to create and to workshop our pieces and to be open with our thought and to share our experiences and just how nice you all have been to us, even though we're in your space once a month. And so I appreciate it, and I hope that we can come back again. So thank you.